India, Russia, and the global missile game. In today's world, arms procurement is not just a military matter, but also a matter of politics, diplomacy, defense strategy, and even culture and national psychology. Recently, the news that India is negotiating to buy more S-400 air defense systems from Russia has stirred up international public opinion. Why does the world's most populous country, with a rapidly growing economy, continue to stick with Russia, a traditional partner, instead of completely leaning towards the US or Europe? And how can the purchase of more S-400s change the security landscape in South Asia and the Asia-Pacific region? To answer this, we will go through three major chapters. Chapter 1. Why India needs the S-400 and why it chose Russia over the West. Chapter 2. The strategic military consequences of this deal for Pakistan, China, the US, and the region. Chapter 3. The global significance, the future of the S-400 in the 21st century, and the Kremlin's smile. Let's start right away because this is not just a story about missiles, but also a story about trust, power, and national status. Chapter 1. Why does India continue to choose the S-400? 1.1. S-400, the steel shield of the 21st century. Russia's S-400 Triumph air defense system is considered by many experts to be one of the most powerful air defense systems in the world today. With the ability to detect targets at a distance of 600 kilometers, shoot down aircraft, cruise missiles, and even some types of ballistic missiles at a distance of 400 kilometers, the S-400 has become a star in the global arms market. To make a simple comparison, the US Patriot is like an expensive umbrella, luxurious, beautiful, but with huge maintenance costs. The Russian S-400 is like a cheap but extremely strong shield, cheaper, more flexible, and able to withstand more situations. 1.2. India's specific needs. India has an extremely sensitive geopolitical position. Looking at the defense map, we see to the west facing Pakistan, a country that possesses nuclear weapons and often has border conflicts. To the north, close to China, a military power and also a long-term strategic rival. To the east and south, a long coastline vulnerable to threats from cruise missiles or long-range bombers. In such a two-on-one context, buying more S-400s is a way for India to strengthen its multi-directional defense shield. For example, if a conflict breaks out in Kashmir, Pakistan can launch missiles. If border tensions with China escalate, Chinese aircraft can cross the Himalayas. India needs an eye far enough and an arm long enough to intercept any threat. Why not choose the US? The US has repeatedly offered to sell Patriot or THAAD to India, but there are three problems. Price. The US system is twice or three times more expensive than the S-400. Political. Buying from the US means accepting constraints and dependence on Washington. India does not want that. Reliability. The S-400 has been proven in practice, while THAAD has mainly been deployed in South Korea and the Gulf. India wants to be self-sufficient and Russia is a partner that is cheap, familiar, and has little political interference. 1.4. Russia-India relations more than trade. Russia and India have a long tradition of defense cooperation dating back to the Soviet era. More than 70% of India's current weapons are of Russian origin or are manufactured using Russian technology. Buying more S-400s is not only a technical matter, but also a matter of maintaining strategic brotherhood. For India, Russia is a partner that does not turn its back in times of difficulty. For Russia, India is a regular customer that brings in tens of billions of US dollars. Chapter 2. The strategic military consequences of this deal for Pakistan, China, the US, and the region. 2.1. Pakistan, anxious neighbor. Every time India strengthens its defense, Pakistan immediately becomes anxious. On the defense map, if India deploys S-400 in Rajasthan or Punjab, the entire Pakistani airspace will be under surveillance. This means Pakistani aircraft will be detected immediately when taking off.
For example, a Pakistani JF-17 fighter jet flies 200 kilometers from the border. With the S-400 radar, it is no different than a mosquito in the living room. Before it can buzz, it is at risk of being shot down. This makes the already uneven balance of power between India and Pakistan even more tilted towards New Delhi. 2.2 China, the most formidable opponent. If Pakistan is a traditional opponent, then China is India's long-term strategic rival. China has deployed the S-400 before, but India's possession of more complexes means that the entire Himalayas have become a radar dispute area. In Ladakh or Arunachal Pradesh, where the two sides often clash, the deployment of S-400 will create an umbrella for India. China will find it difficult to overwhelm it with air power as before. 2.3 The US and the West, both angry and helpless. The US has imposed sanctions on Turkey when Ankara bought the S-400. But with India, things are more complicated. India is a strategic partner in the Quad with the US, Japan and Australia. Washington needs New Delhi to contain China. Therefore, the US will not dare to take strong action like it did with Turkey. This is the interesting point. India is playing with Russia, but also cooperating with the US. Both sides have to swallow the bitter pill. 2.4 Russia, a smile in the Kremlin. For Russia, this deal is killing three birds with one stone. Money. Selling weapons brings in billions of US dollars, much needed in the context of sanctions. Influence. Strengthening its position in South Asia, proving that it is still a major arms supplier. Politics. Sending a message that Russia still has many friends outside the West. Chapter 3. Global significance and future of the S-400. 3.1 The S-400 deal and the triangular chess game of the US, Russia, India. On the international chessboard, India is like a smart player sitting between two major powers. Buying the S-400 means continuing to shake hands with Russia but still not leaving the chessboard with the US. This is a typical tightrope art, not leaning towards anyone, using both sides to increase your strength. 3.2 Does the S-400 change the entire balance of power? Yes and no. Yes, because Pakistan is almost placed in India's radar cage. China also has to be more cautious when sending planes close. No, because modern warfare is not only about the Air Force. Drones, hypersonic missiles, cyber warfare are all new friends. The S-400 is powerful but cannot fight against everything. 3.3 A little humor, shield or even umbrella. Someone joked, the S-400 is like a super umbrella. It can cover you in light rain, but you will still get wet in heavy rain. But compared to not having an umbrella, it is definitely much better. India's purchase of additional S-400 is like buying a few giant umbrellas in case storms come from both the north and the west. 3.4 The future from S-400 to S-500, S-550. Russia has developed the S-500, even mentioned the S-550. If India continues to stick with it, it may be the first customer of these systems. That means India will have not only an umbrella but also a steel roof covering its airspace. Conclusion. Missiles, power and trust. India's negotiations to purchase additional S-400 air defense systems from Russia are not just a military contract. They are a testament to India's vital security needs in a region rife with conflict, the long-standing strategic relationship between New Delhi and Russia, India's ability to skillfully walk the tightrope in international relations, cooperating with Russia while also joining hands with the US. Historically, countries that know how to balance relations and utilize all resources have always risen strongly. India is following that path. The final question, will the S-400 umbrellas be enough to protect the Indian sky in future storms? Leave your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to History&War channel to continue to accompany us to explore unique, humorous and profound perspectives on global history and war.